Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host and game master, Ian Duncan, and my pronouns are he, him. I am joined by some wonderful, talented people that I have the great pleasure of mastering this game for them, hosting this game for them. Please welcome Jamie Lee-Bonés.
Hello, I am Jamie, she, her, and I play Ello, the modified medical droid, they, them.
And Jamie, what is the color of your energy?
I always like to think that it's purple, but it might be a little blue today.
Oh, okay.
It's raining outside, so I'm feeling that water energy.
That rainy day Camino energy. Also joining us, as always, is Alex Herrera.
Hi, I'm Alex Herrera. He, him. I play Beegax Botano. Doug Slicer, also he, him.
And what's the color of your energy?
I have been told in the past by someone that I admire their input very highly that my chakra is purple because they said that I remind them of Orochimaru from Naruto, the bad guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because his chakra is purple.
He's a snack. He's a wiggly
snack
man.
It was Larry who said it. Larry was like, Alex, sometimes your chakra's purple, man. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, bad guy Orochimaru? He's like, yeah, I'm not saying you're a bad guy. I'm just saying, like, the vibe.
The vibe.
So I'm a snake, and I'm like...
The vibe is semi-evil, that's all.
Semi-evil, highly sexually charged, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Taking advantage of ninja kids.
Yeah, right? Yeah, you're going to be my new body, by the
way. This is just a quick flash poll. What do you think my chakra energy is? What am I radiating off?
I get yellow right away.
Yellow?
I was going to say green.
Green? Okay, green and yellow. Green and yellow.
You're showing our age by quoting songs that newer kids won't even remember.
You know what? That's all I got. That's all I got is old songs.
Same.
Please forgive me. Without any further ado, let's jump right in. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Episode 37, Terror, Triumph, and Despair. Ello, Beegax, and their crew find themselves aboard a derelict Imperial research vessel, codenamed the Dollhouse. Looking for loot, they found the violent aftermath of some secret experiment gone horribly wrong. With no survivors, the abandoned ship drifted into unmarked routes through the Expanse Region of the galaxy. And yet, the Dollhouse may not be as empty as originally thought. Now the fringers hope their scavenging will be worth the danger of whoever or whatever stalks them from the shadows.
A hollow message of the bloody end of the people aboard this ship stays frozen in place. A blurry blue frame of violence. This message, a warning never sent, and a plead for help never answered. The events of the recording seem to match up with the grisly tableau before you on the bridge of this ship, offering perhaps a clue to the fate of these Imperials, but leaving out crucial information like who and why. You've accessed some of the research notes about the project and experiments being done here, as well as an inventory of possible valuables aboard this vessel. What would you like to do?
I think Beegax, he'll look at the files that he got and he'll see all the talk of cybernetics gone wrong, or deep cybernetics apparently to basically almost to replicate or to replace someone's mental state entirely. And I guess he'll try and look up if there are any more files on the type of cybernetic experiments that were done specifically here, like the case names or creature names, hey, this person was named this and we tried to do this but it failed, logs on attempt 1, attempt 2, things like that, if there are any.
They exist. This information points you to a laboratory notes of the laboratory on this ship.
Okay, Beegax pulls up a map of the ship because he's tired of not knowing the floor plan.
I think there's a main deck that you're on that has the bridge and it has the lab. And then I think there's probably like some kind of deck up above that that's not as big, but that's like crew quarters or where people would, like bunk and stuff like that. And then I think there's something underneath as well that's like storage, engineering, the guts of the ship, that kind of stuff. And the laboratory, what you probably want to know is the laboratory is at the very back of the ship.
Ugh.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. Beegax closes the terminal. With the information he now has, he kind of gets closer to the group. Okay. So obviously we're gonna... Let's state the main facts here, right? 1. There's a kill beast monster, cybernetic droid, a hybrid, a human creature thing on board somewhere. It's fast. And it probably knows we're here because I'm pretty sure I saw it stalking us when we walked in. However...
Why didn't you say anything?
Because I didn't want you to act like this, Creed. However, it's obvious that this thing is waiting for us to separate or do something before it strikes, so... If we stick together, I think we'll be okay. Even if it attacks us, I'm pretty sure we'll get a few shots off, maybe injure it a little, but let's keep going about the path we've been going. So far, I don't think it's seen us as a threat yet.
Verse pipes in, okay, so what's the plan here? I thought we were coming in to get some stuff and go, and now there's something in here that wants to kill us?
Yeah, I mean, well, I didn't know there was something in here that wanted to kill us. First and foremost, I thought this was a simple smash and grab, let's get the stuff and leave operation. It's changed, but the main objective remains. We're grabbing things, but we need to also be very careful and survive, because I'm pretty sure that other ship outside had a crew, and now they're in here somewhere to get mixed up or have been mixed up with the dead.
What are we getting?
He'll look at the inventory manifest or list, what he can find that he did find up here. Is there anything of value, like besides just like Imperial components?
Yeah, there is. I have some ideas, but I'd like to open it up as to like what's of value on this ship. So let's talk about like what's valuable here in this spooky research vessel. The ideas that I have, I think that there are cybernetics. I think there are like cybernetic parts here that can be salvaged. And it's a medical, there's like, medical stuff on here. So there's probably like medical supplies, like Bacta tanks, like that kind of stuff that can be sold. But what else? What other things are on here that could be of value?
Maybe like energy sources,
Yeah.
in case like some sort of power sources run out. That like we use a lot of energy on the ship, so we have to have backups and alternatives, things like that.
Got it. So yeah, so like batteries and like big energy batteries for
medium to large generators, batteries, things like that.
Yeah, I love that. And it can be just that. I just wanted to open it up because I
think like medical stuff, huh, Jamie?
Yeah, medical stuff for sure. I'm not sure what type of equipment though.
Well, I think they have. I think there might be like there's like the big Bacta tanks that you can fit a whole person in. Those are probably listed on this manifest. They probably have like Bacta pouches and liters and stuff like that, and those are worth something. But the Bacta tanks are worth quite a bit. They're big and heavy though. That's the thing. Like
you won't fit that in a rat-sized hole.
Maybe
That's
not.
not gonna fit.
Maybe not. Yeah, but they are made to like transport off and on board ships.
They got like the little hover thing.
Oh, right. I did have a question. Do the Death Troopers use different weapons than the regular Stormtroopers do?
Oh, that's a good question.
No, it doesn't.
They use the
it
same
doesn't seem
stuff.
like
Okay.
they do. Yeah.
Okay.
They use pretty much the same gear. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, they sound different in the show.
Yeah, they got different. They got cooler
It's
helmets.
pew pew
right?
versus pew pew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have they're heavy blaster rifles, and those aren't worth nothing. So yeah, I guess there is like munitions that could.
Yeah, I think you know what. Yeah, that's a good point. Beegax, takes Elo's advice, or if we're talking like this, but I assume we're just conversing in character. Beegax will begin grabbing the heavy blaster rifles off of at least four of the dead many Death Troopers or Stormtroopers on here, and hand them out so everyone has like a backup weapon.
It's a good
Creed.
idea. Backup weapon.
Yeah, in case we lose one or it breaks or something.
Okay, yeah. Everyone takes a heavy blaster rifle, just in case. That will add to your encumbrance, by the way.
My threshold is 7, but my value is 2.
You usually carry more stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm made of metal, so that kind of makes sense.
Just start picking up like the whole computer.
Right. Do you need a backup computer, Beegax?
I need a speaker in the shower.
So I assume based on what's on this inventory and what we're sort of going after, we're going to have to hit multiple spaces in this ship. What would be the closest based on that map?
I think that probably like the energy sources, like the batteries and things like that, I think that's probably in a deck below you. And the medical stuff is obviously in the research area of the ship. So that's in the back of the ship. I guess that would be the closest, just because you are traveling. You don't have to travel down to another deck, basically.
Gotcha. And we ported in somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I would assume. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Guess back at the ship.
I suppose we should head towards the lab.
Okay.
Do we want to turn the lights on first?
We can't.
Okay.
We can't.
Yeah,
Just
power's
kidding.
off. It's still the yeah. You click.
It's like, do you want to turn the lights on?
The switch doesn't work.
I have my little flashy eyes, but I mean, we can see, so I don't think it's necessary.
I mean, those will help.
All right, I'll turn on my flashlight eyes.
Whereas in Creed, I think, are having a harder time than we are.
Probably.
I would assume.
Probably.
Yeah.
Creed's probably got good vision. You'd think those like three GAN eyes would.
3 stocks. Yeah, it's 3
Yeah,
stocks.
the 3 stocks. He's definitely.
One's actually just a disintegrator.
But yeah, you head to the back of the ship, and again, like just as before, like it's quiet. And now that you think something is in this ship with you, you're sort of like hyper focused on those sounds now. So like when the ship creaks and moves, or something like makes a reverberant sound, it just alerts everyone, and everyone's just like checking around. You get to the research area of the ship, and yeah, it looks like a lab, like a science lab, basically. There are just this like, as you get closer and closer to it, you begin to see more of this carnage as well. There seems to be some kind of like bloodbath that happened in this area, but rather than at the bridge where it looked like sort of like a last stand, this sort of looks like people trying to retreat, make their way away from something. And as you get closer and closer, there's more and more bodies, more and more viscera, these like just torn apart stormtroopers and researchers. And you come to a lab where there's like people. Some of them are laying on tables. Some of them are in Bacta tubes, and some of them are clones, very recognizably.
Oh.
And they're hooked up to machines, all kinds of like life support machines, some of which are flatlined, others still have a pulse going off, and some of them, regardless of if they seem to have a flicker of life or are dead, many of them are bitten into, pieces of them eaten away from, even the seemingly alive ones. And there's also these big, dark, strange looking stormtrooper armor, like massive, bigger than any stormtrooper that you've seen, hulking, like a sentinel. And some of them are in this lab, just standing there, motionless, unresponsive. And there's a lot of blood. We have a real tonal shift from Star Wars, huh?
Yeah, this is like, it's like Mass Effect meets Aliens. I think Beegax like takes one look at this and just goes, "Wow, this is not what I expected." As he has his pistol very carefully moving through the room. I think he goes to the clones first, the ones that are alive, and looks at their readout and gets all the information he can, just looking at them and looking at the data that's presented to see, like, is there any identification? Why is this person in the tank? What happened to them? That kind of.
Yeah, you can roll me a medicine check if you want to.
Oh no, my turn. Hello.
Either of you can roll me a medicine check.
We're switching jobs. I'm gonna be the slicer.
Yeah, you're the slicer now.
You're gonna be the medic from now on.
Fine. Hey, now you're fine. Saltine packet. Get back out there. What's the difficulty?
What are you looking for? Can I?
Name, if they have a name, and then the reason why they're in the tank.
Oh, gotcha. You can find the name. Let's call it a hard check to like read their medical records, basically.
I was hoping you would say normal, but that's okay. Hard is perfectly acceptable because it's not daunting. So, but you know what? Dice don't care. Wash. Nothing.
Yeah, I think there's probably. I mean, I think for the clones, it doesn't have their names. It has like CT1234, you know, like CT0070, you know, like it's got their like clone identification.
FN2117.
Yeah, and then for some of the troopers, like they're not designated with names, they're designated also with serials that are like that, FN118 or whatever, something like that.
Finn, no,
yeah.
What are you doing?
So Beegax like approaches one of these clones that still has vitals beeping through a machine and has had a substantial amount of them been eaten from their body as they are still alive. And yeah, you can see the name there, the clone name. It's hard to tell like why they, in what condition they are, or why they're in the tanks, or what's even happening here from just these monitors.
He looks at the container after not being able to read the data very well. Sorry, buddy. And then moves on to the armor, but very carefully. He doesn't walk all the way up to the armor. He whispers, "Hello," and he motions Ella to come over to him.
Ella was probably just like looking through drawers and cabinets to see what was there. But we'll go walk over to Beegax.
Roll me a perception check, Ella.
Okay. My favorite roll. 1 success!
Excellent.
A giant spider jumps out at you from the cabinet.
You go through a drawer and there's like a tray, like a surgical tray that's out. And it has like these weird bone charms on it. They've got like carvings on them. And yeah, they look like they're bone.
Like charms like that you would see on a charm bracelet?
Kind of, yeah. Like there may be, I mean...
I was going to say, what's a bone charm? That's not a term I'm used to hearing.
I was like, or is it like a bone that is charmed? Like magic.
Yeah. It is a charm made of bone.
Okay. I think Ella will pick this up and sort of like bring it a little closer to investigate. And when Beegax calls them over, we'll bring it over with them. As Beegax is looking up at this massive armor, Ella's gonna sort of put it in front of him like, look what I found over there. How strange.
Except when you turn to Beegax, he's not there.
Oh, God.
Oh, god damn it, Elo. I was like, why is there a bone on this spaceship?
Well, Ella's gonna do that regardless, and then realize, looking around, Beegax? And I assume Verse and Creed are also not there.
They're not there either. In fact, the only thing that remains in this room is a creeping green mist that seems to pour out from the mouth and eyes of these bodies and clones as it spills down over the tables and covers the floor. And you hear briefly, maybe the first other voice that you've heard on this ship, someone says, calling, sister, in like a weird, creepy whisper, like,
Oh, that is creepy.
and then you're back.
Beegax is standing there. What? Hello?
It's just Elo holding a bone charm in front of him, like,
Just frozen.
playing. Yeah.
Hello? Why? Stop sticking body parts in front of me. What is this?
Ella's gonna come to, I suppose, and sort of shake this experience off, and is going to say, I'm not liking this place very much. I found this over there in the drawer, and I'm unsure what it might be.
It's a bone. Doctor.
Doctor. Okay, but have you ever seen a bone that has this carving into it?
I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, Elo. I rarely see bones.
Those belong on the inside of you.
Beegax nods and looks at Creed. Correct.
Good job.
Yes.
Yes, Creed.
Creed and I have about the same knowledge of medical anatomy as, we're probably pretty much equal on that front, I have to say. But it is strange that there is a bone in this lab, unless they were doing bone stuff. He looks at the clones. Something tells me they weren't focusing on bones here, more on organic matter, the squishy stuff.
Well, I suppose Ella's just going to put it down then and look up at this massive armor with Beegax.
Okay. Yeah, you look up at this armor. It gleams like it's glossy black, and it towers over Beegax, certainly, and even over Creed. It's probably about a head taller than Creed himself, who's a big fellow. But yeah, it just stands there. What do you do? What do you want to do?
Is it okay? I want to see if is it a suit or is it an actual machine that's just, it's got armor on it?
I gotcha. So you like poke it or knock on it or try and take the head off or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, it's heavy and solid. It doesn't feel like a big suit of armor. It feels like a solid metal thing, like a droid.
Beegax looks for a connector port anywhere on this thing.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, there's one for sure.
Okay, Beegax finds a port and he says, bingo. Alright, and he's going to open his deck and he's going to look to Verse, Elo, and Creed. Cover me for just a few seconds. Maybe a minute.
What are you doing?
I'm going to look what's in this thing's brain.
Can you do that?
He looks to Elo. I mean, I've done it twice, right?
Yes, he does have experience.
Okay, she raises her pistol. Yeah, let's slice into this droid. This is exciting.
Oh god.
Okay, give me a hard computers check. I am gonna upgrade. I'm gonna flip a dark side point and upgrade one of those purple to a red. So a red and 2 purple.
Okay, here we go. Come on, Force. 3 failures, 3 successes. So, normally it'd be a wash, but I'm going to use Natural Programmer once per session. may reroll any one computer's or investigation check.
Cool. Okay. Yes, please do.
This is worse. This is much worse.
Oh no.
Oh shit. Okay, well there's 3 success, 3 threat.
What are you looking for? Like, getting into this droid brain?
First and foremost, I want to get the RoboCop data. What I mean by that is, if you remember the opening of RoboCop, it's like they're testing his targeting system, his voice recording. Happy birthday, RoboCop! It's been a year since we saved your human brain, connect you to the thing. So I want to see any testing schematics or whatever testing thing they have for this droid or this machine, so I can figure out what it's made for and what they wanted it for, and maybe see what the lab looked like if there's any video evidence at a time prior to whatever took place.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're like trying to like scroll through its like whatever it perceived, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And you 3 threats, right?
Yep.
Okay. I think I know what those are. So I think you see some video feeds. First of all, it's a jumble. It's messy. It's so messy, even Beegax has a hard time like reading it. And you can get some visual and audio data, but it doesn't make sense. It's like clones dying in Republic clone armor, and you see like Camino, and you see like a sterile lab environment, and there's no audio except for a terrifying scream.
This is not the data I'm looking for. Beegax, while still in the brain of this droid, kind of clicking away. That's unsettling. Okay. And then he'll look for, if he can, the last time this droid was turned on, date-wise, in comparison to what time it is now.
Oh, gotcha. Like a while ago. It seems like it was from the bridge message that you got, like whatever date stamp that was turned off way before that.
Okay.
The thing that you fail to see is the quick, thin shadow that moves between all of you and the door of this laboratory. And I need you both to roll initiative. Hello, Fringers, Spacers, Scum, Villainy, and the Rebel Alliance. Thanks for joining me in hyperspace. I've got a quick mid-roll so you can get back to the episode in no time at all. Firstly, thank you for your recent support, for taking the time to rate us highly and write us reviews on Apple Podcasts or your podcast service of choice. Thanks for talking about us on social media and telling your friends, family, and fellow nerds about us. Those are little word-of-mouth things that help us out tremendously, and we could not grow without it and without your help, so thank you. Secondly, we will be doing a little side campaign for when Jamie needs to step away to take care of her new baby. Our Star Wars story isn't ending, that's still ongoing, Jamie's not going anywhere, and we'll pick that campaign back up once Jamie and her family is feeling good and healthy. My plan is to find a good place to pause our Star Wars story. I'll go into more detail as we get closer to the date, and I'll give you plenty of heads up that it's coming, so listen to the mid-rolls for more details about that. It's in a whole new system, like a brand new RPG, and yeah, I don't want to give too much away about it, but I'm very excited about it. Lastly, there's a lot going on in the world, and when I say a lot, I'm talking about injustice. At home, in our communities, and internationally. It can seem overwhelming when faced with all the issues of injustice, sustainability, and shortcomings of our current political and social climate. So, to overcome this anxiety and to feel like you're accomplishing something, I'm asking listeners of this show to set aside one day a month to write or contact your local and federal representatives and outline how you would like to see them enact progressive change in your communities, in your state, in your country, or internationally. I know we've all got busy schedules, but starting with this month, pick one day, set aside an evening or an afternoon, and pick one issue that is important to you. Send an email, send a text, make a phone call, and find out what measures our lawmakers are taking towards progressive change on that issue. And if they aren't taking any, inform them that as a constituent, you would like to see them change their policy to one of more progressive reform. Tools for finding out who your representatives are and to contact them in a variety of ways can be found on our Discord, link in our Twitter and Instagram profile @RespectTheCrit. One day out of the month. And if there's several issues you care about, parse them out for each month. Make a checklist and start marking them off. I guarantee you'll feel like you're accomplishing something. It will be advocating for change in the community and world you live in, and it will relieve some of that anxiety if you're experiencing any. I hope listeners of this show will find the time, one day a month, and rise to this challenge. That's it. Thank you all very much, and please enjoy the rest of the episode.
Oh, to success.
I got the same, 2 success, 2 advantage.
We have PC, 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 and PC, PC.
Oh, it's slow.
Now I will say this thing it has sidled right up to Creed. It's sort of like that camera where we see him like holding his axe and he's like looking back and forth with his eye stalks, and then we see something like come up behind him and you hear him scream, and then we are in combat. So it's real close to him. Who would like to go first? And that's gonna complicate things.
Why?
Because you don't want to shoot Creed. I mean, maybe you do. That's fine.
No, I don't want to shoot Creed. Oh no. Rainbow.
Duck.
Yeah, I think I'll go first.
Okay.
And I'm imagining that I'm a pretty nice distance away from Creed because he's like, I envision in the center of the room, while Elo and myself are closer to the Death Trooper armor droid thing in the other end. So I'm going to turn around, look at the situation. Do I get a good picture of this thing now? Do I know what it looks like?
Yeah, you can kind of see it now that but it's still obscured by the broad shoulders of Creed, but it does look very thin. It looks dark. It seems to be wearing some kind of armor. It has these elongated fingers that look like talons as part of its armor. It seems to be bipedal, so humanoid. It seems to only have the 2 limbs for now, and its faceplate gleams in this dim laboratory emergency lighting. You could roll education, I believe, is what it could be. You could education or war, whatever.
Oh no, education. Education for sure. War? What's war? Wait a minute.
There's one that's like warfare or something.
Oh, warfare, right?
I think that's more a Age of Rebellion skill, but well, let's call it an average check. We'll give you a black die, and Elo, you can roll this too if you want. Actually, no, Elo, I've got something for you. I'm gonna flip a dark side point.
It's fine. I didn't want to roll anyway.
All right, here we go. 2 success, 1 threat.
The faceplate, even though it is dark, is reminiscent of a very famous separatist general, Grievous.
Oh my god, this is like a Grievous failure. Yeah, I'm gonna try and shoot it, I guess, but you said that it's behind Creed, so
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is gonna be a tough check.
Yeah, it's going to. So I think that you're all fairly close together to each other, so I think it's within short range, so within the distance of your weapon, but it is an upgraded difficulty because it's basically engaged with Creed right now, so that'll be just a red and a purple.
Here we go. That was 2 success, 1 threat.
Cool. So give me that damage, please.
Damage is 10.
10. Okay, so 10 plus a success. You fire this. Creed's like,
Hey, watch it!
but you
Sorry.
manage to not hit him, and he spins around and does the Scooby-Doo teeth chatter as he looks into the visored, bemasked face of this elongated terror. Who is the next PC to go?
I kind of want to let Creed go so he can get out the fucking way.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. We can def do that.
That would have been smart to let him go first. Now I think about it.
Hey, you hit. It's fine.
So Creed's gonna go. I guess he's gonna try and take a swing on this thing. Gonna swing wildly. Ooh, boy. 2 threat. So he swings his axe. This thing like ducks out of the way, and Creed rolls off to the side to try and make an easier path. It looks like it's a bit of a rough roll for him. Let's just call that. He sort of like lands on his shoulder a bit hard. To the next PC. What you got, LO? Well, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't
Let's
know.
do
I don't know what I
this.
got. What's happening?
When you see this face mask, you are struck and you begin to glitch out. Your vision begins to parse and break apart, and you begin to see an experience that you've had before, which is staring into the face of General Grievous on the planet Dathomir. Now, what that means is you can still take a shot, but it's going to impede you a little bit. You're not blind, basically,
Yeah.
but it is a disrupting event.
Okay.
And you can hear his laugh, like that mechanical laugh.
I don't know if I should fire. I don't want to cause more damage. But Creed did get out of the way.
Creed is out of the way.
So I guess Ella's going to try to, like with the green mist experience earlier, shake this off and we'll line up the shot to try to hit this being.
And when you say line up, do you mean do you want to actually take the aim maneuver?
I would think
Oh.
with the circumstance being what it is, that would probably be, yeah, considering they're having a hard time seeing, I think they would take an extra moment to try and aim on this creature since their vision's all glitchy. They need that assistance.
Yeah, so you use your maneuver to aim your disruptor pistol and take a shot. Please do so. So your dice pool is going to be 2 red and 1 blue die. You can take an additional aim maneuver at the cost of 2 strain if you would like to gain an additional blue die.
Yeah, I think I will do it.
Okay.
Just
So-
because of all of the glitchy stuff happening, it kind of makes sense that Ella would do that.
The gears grit down and you take some strain, digging your heels in, 2 strain, and you can add another blue die to this roll.
1 success and 5 advantages.
Well,
That's
hello.
a lot of advantages.
Yeah.
That's a crit, isn't it? That turned the gun. Like, the hit
You can
crit?
activate a crit if you would
Hell
like.
yeah! I took so much
Yeah.
aim for that.
Oh, I forgot to add a black die. I would you mind rolling? I'm so sorry. I
Sure.
don't mean to take this away. There was a black die from Creed's threats, and I forgot to throw that
You
into
got
my
it.
pool.
1 failure. So now I just have 5 advantages.
Okay.
Way to go.
I'm
No,
sorry.
I
I
was
don't,
so
I don't mean to
excited
take
for that
that
crit
away from
damage.
you. I know. I'm so sorry. That's so shitty.
Mark it down, everyone. 4:09 p.m. Ian killed
I
the
killed
fun.
the fun. That's a miss, but you do have a shit ton of advantages, and that's not nothing. What would you like to do with those?
Can I try something crazy?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're in this lab.
Since I took this away from you.
Okay, so we're in this lab, and we have already established that there's Bacta tanks. I want to have one of those I want to shoot one of those and have it spill onto this this guy.
Absolutely, yes. Let's use some advantages to impede the progress of this.
This speedy guy. Let's make him slip
this
around.
Speedy guy. We'll add some black die to their roll for this, for getting back to all over them. Really briefly, what does that look like? Elo shooting the back to tank.
So Elo is taking aim very, very carefully. But because of these glitches in their eyesight, is going to miss anyway. They're going to get real close and shoot up one of these Bacta tanks in the background. That is just going to sort of, like when a dam breaks, just unleash this wave of Bacta onto this terror and have it be covered in goop and slippery, slimy stuff.
Yeah, I love it. The tank explodes like a Mission Impossible movie and pours out all over. Fantastic. It briefly slides and slips on this stuff and makes a recovery and finds its way in front of Elo. So the Grievous mask is right there up in front of your face. It's gonna take a swipe on ya with 2 black die from covered in Bacta now. It's like slipping and sliding on Bacta. Just one failure. It like drags these like needle syringe like claws and takes like a big swipe down onto Elo, but it manages to just like slip and fall, or not fall, but like slip on the Bacta on its shoe and miss entirely, the swipe like going over Elo's head. Last PC versus gonna take a shot. Just one success.
Nice.
So boom, yeah.
All you need.
Verse takes a shot. It's like, Elo, get out of the way! Like fires and hits this thing. It spins around on its heel, spinning from the slippery Bacta, and then we are back to the top of the round. What PC is going next?
I'll go now that Creed's not in the way and L's not in the way, right?
No, Elo is in the way.
Shit, Elo. Okay, you can go first, Elo. I don't want to shoot anybody.
Okay, I guess Elo will go first. Is this glitchy eyesight through this entire encounter?
No. That's just for that one instance of seeing this thing. But actually, we should do something that we haven't really done before, and that is roll a fear check.
Fear check.
What?
Okay.
Yeah. I need you both to roll me let's call it an easy fear check. This thing is something you haven't seen before. You've seen what it can do, but it is slipping and sliding in a bunch of Bacta right now. So.
It's pretty funny.
It might be a little funny. So yeah, either discipline or cool, whichever you
Discipline
decide.
or cool. I'll do cool.
Oh my god.
1 success, 1 advantage.
2 success, 1 advantage.
Though I have to say, I don't know that necessarily makes sense for Elo's character, but I'll take the dice.
I mean, I like to think that we're both mission oriented now.
The initial shock has worn off with the Bacta spill.
Okay, yeah, it seems everyone is geared in. They're sort of like dialed in. We're in combat now. This is something that we have to do. We have to survive.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I picked this away team, because we're the best.
Yeah, all right. Didn't mean to interrupt the turn. Elo, it sounded like you wanted to go.
Yeah, Elo is going to back away so that everyone can get a clearer shot on this dude, and is going to, at close range, I assume now, try to fire.
Awesome. Would you like to spend another maneuver to aim? Let's get some strain.
I think if the blurred vision has subsided, Elo's just going to try to fire normally right now.
What if I flip another dark side point?
Why did I say anything? That would be your last dark side point, though.
That
sir.
is the last dark side point. I am looking at 3 light side points.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, you see like it's just like glitching Grievous face like getting in your grill again. You step back to try and like move away from this thing, but the vision that you're seeing follows you, continues in front of you, and shoot yo shot.
Well, I would then take the additional strain to aim.
Cool.
So I'll do it.
2 strain, so that should be 2 red, 1 blue.
Okay. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna screen share. Can you see it? What do we do?
Oh my goodness! Oh my
What
goodness.
do we do? I got a triumph and a despair.
This is the best day ever.
Is it? Or is it the worst? Does one trump the other?
Well, the success and failures cancel each other out, that they both, but we do still have a triumph, and we do still have a despair. So just so it's very clear, Jamie just rolled a triumph and a despair, 2 sides of the crit, and that's like a respect the crit implosion. That's like a respect the crit.
I don't think this happened before.
And I don't think so.
It's never happened before. Yeah, not in our game.
What are literally the chances?
You heard it here, folks. First, folks. Wow, dyslexia. 4:20 p.m. Hey, 4:20, yo, what up?
Okay, so
yeah,
and I have a success and 2 advantages, but I kind of feel like that's like background noise.
That's the background noise. Yeah, totally. Okay, well, you have a success. Oh, you said 2 advantages?
2 advantages, yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's crit. Activates the crit.
Yeah,
right?
so you can activate a crit with either the 2 advantages or the triumph.
I think I'm definitely going to activate the crit with the advantages, and I want to do something with the triumph. I'm not exactly sure what. I'm thinking maybe like I want to blast off the mask so that I don't have to deal with this trauma anymore.
Okay.
That doesn't feel very critty to me. So does anybody have any suggestions? Alex, you have any ideas?
No, I think shooting the mask off is by itself, I don't think is very critty, but maybe like it affects the creature's attacks, like gives it a black die when it attacks us for the remainder of the match or something like that. I don't know if that counts. Because I feel like the mask is important, right? If this guy's wearing it, it's because it's part of like its reason why it's so successful, why it does that its attacks are so on point, because it's used to wearing this mask when it attacks.
Well, let's do this. Let's do the damage,
okay,
and see, and then we'll check in on what this.
And I've got my cool gunslinger thing now.
Yeah.
So let's see, what's the damage on this? 10
plus whatever successes you have.
Yeah,
you're activating your crit, and your pistol's vicious something. I can't.
Vicious 4.
My God.
Yeah.
My God.
Add 1 damage per rank of point blank to damage of 1 hit of successful ranged light attacks made while at short or engaged range. So it's just an additional point of damage.
Oh, okay. So you actually have 2 points of like your success, and then your ability gives you an additional. Okay. So we're looking at 12 damage.
I just need to know what the despair is, though. That's really all I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah, same.
So tell us what it looks like when you destroy this creature.
Ella is going to back up and try to take aim, though this blurred vision of Grievous is just haunting them. And is going to almost through Elo's eyes like come up onto them, and Elo's just going to scream no and fire, shooting this creature through its mask, and you just see all of its little, I don't know, cybernetics or human parts just sort of like blah, disintegrate.
Ooh.
It tries to move out of the way as you pull your blaster, and it doesn't quite make it and takes that damage right to the face, and it flies back into the pool of Bacta, now growing on the floor of this horrific lab. And it's gone. It's dead. The threat has been neutralized. Now you have this triumph. What do you want to do with it?
Yeah, what can we do with this?
I don't know.
Maybe you gain some insight in what these glitches are or something. I don't know.
I mean, that could work. Technically, I made it so that they were sort of shooting Grievous in that moment. That's what it felt like to Elo, is that they were blasting him.
Yeah, and maybe that's a cathartic thing. I mean, that could happen a lot of ways. Like, I'm just kind of spitballing here, but I guess that could be like you recover the strain that you took. That could be something that could happen. I think that might be good. If there's a question that you want to ask me about that stuff, maybe I can answer that for you. Yeah, there's a lot of ways. I think there's a couple of ways that, like, having that catharsis of like shooting Grievous in the face, you were able to hold off and stand your ground from something that was attacking you and threatening you internally, externally, that kind of thing. And you're able to gain something from that.
Right. I like that. Yeah. What question do I want to ask? Because I feel like when it comes to everything that had been going on with Elo, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Well, what do you feel? What do you feel's going on?
I feel like I had a life before I was a robot, but I don't know. I guess I would. Okay, here's what I think. Maybe the next time Elo has one of these flashbacks, I'd love for it to be like pre whatever this wartime is. Like,
I see. Okay.
Like maybe it opens up some memories for Elo.
Yes. I love that. Okay. For a moment, it really felt like you had destroyed Grievous. And then suddenly the world glitches out again for Elo. But this time, you're not on a battlefield. You are not staring at General Grievous. You're not staring at battle droids or watching Night Sisters get mowed down. There is a green mist covering the floor here, and you feel like you're inside somewhere. And wherever you are, it feels familiar. And it feels safe. And you see a Dathomirian woman, one of the Night Sisters, pale skin, dark tattoos, dressed in red. And you hear her say, "Sister, you finally come." And then that image bleeds digitally away in a smear of color and pixels, and you're back into the research facility. I think the despair is, for LO, that when they look down at this deceased creature, robot, cyborg, whatever it is, organic and electronic bits exploded out. That mask with a huge hole burned through it. You can't help but have a pull, a desire to take that mask and keep it with you. You feel compelled to carry that frightening visage on your person.
I think then, without a beat, Elo would then walk over, kneel over this creature, and rip the mask off of its skull. Cybernetics and human bodily parts tearing away.
Yeah, it does not come off easy. And the rest of the crew and Beegax stand around LO as they rip the face off of this creature. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crit Empire's Edge. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by giving us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. It's easy, free, and helps other people learn about the show. And we love reading your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter and Instagram. Or come chat with us on our official Discord server. Beegax is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AEHerrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. LO is played by Jamie Lee-Bonés, who you can find on Instagram @jamielee.bones. I'm Ian Duncan, your GM and MC, and you can find me @idunks on Twitter and Instagram. The original music featured in this episode is provided with license or permission by a variety of talented artists, whose information and credits are linked in the show notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to check out more of their work, and tell them how much you like their music in our show. The Star Wars role-playing system is published by Fantasy Flight Games. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and may the Force be with you.
Hey, this is Beegax. Leave your message after the beep. That's fine. Oh my god, Jamie, what if you have twins?
I'm not having twins. I know it is a single baby.
One single baby.
One single baby.
Until the baby shadow clone jutsu's in.
Yeah, there you go. What if then? What if that? Huh?
I don't even know. I don't even know what we'll do. I'll probably pass out.